Right, so we're going to go ahead and go to our dashboard, open up our sandbox course on Canvas, and whatever you have in there, if it's just something you've been messing around with, something that you can do is come over here to class settings, um, and on the right-hand navigation panel, you're going to see an option, tons of options actually, but one option in particular is to reset the course content. This is also where you find the import course content, which is our next step, but we're going to go ahead and reset it first. So you'll see when I click on home that all of that lovely content from my sandbox was gone, right? This is a sandbox. This is a test class, so it's okay to delete things. And now I'm going to import some course content in order to show you how to bring that in from Canvas. So remember we did a common cartridge. We're going to choose a file, and we're going to locate that file wherever it is we downloaded it to. It might take me a second. Yeah, probably name your file so that you know what you're looking for. But here it is. Here's my common cartridge file that I just showed you in a previous video. And I'm going to select that. And I'm going to go ahead and create a new question bank because I do have quizzes in my old haiku course. And I want to make sure that I have access to those still. Now there are two options, to import everything or to just select content. I'm going to select content just so I can show you what that looks like. Obviously the other one, a little bit more self-explanatory. So it's going to be queued for a while, and again, depending on how much content is in your haiku course, the time will vary greatly. Mine is pretty sparse from last year, so it's not going to take me too much time. So I'm going to go ahead and look in my files, see if anything's downloaded yet. And nothing has, so we're just going to go ahead and wait and see what happens. But you can check that import status by returning to import course content, and you'll see here that it's asking me to select the content I want to import. When you click those arrows, you can go ahead and expand those menus to see all of the content from your haiku course and check whichever things you want to import. So I'm going to check things like quizzes and my reading comprehension final. There are some files, but they're all HTML files, which aren't going to import properly, but we'll look at those a little bit later. All right, so now it's queued again, and it's queued based on the selections that I just made. So when I go back to the file section, I should start to see, there you go, some of that content being imported. So here you can see that some of the content haiku imports oddly. The different fields in a haiku module import as separate files into Canvas. So that's something you should be conscious of. If you're trying to preserve the formatting of something, you should probably individually download those items. But in this case, in this example, we're just looking at preserving the content so that we can work with it later. We end up making changes anyways, so not that big of a deal for me. But again, if you are trying to preserve the formatting of something from haiku, I encourage you to individually download items. So here when I click on my course, my modules, and my home button in this case, I'm going to see all of the modules and sections that were downloaded from haiku to Canvas. Some things, again, lost in translation, but the instructions from assignments, things like that, are still preserved. As well as like links and other things. So this was a rich text box in haiku, and Canvas has the same thing, which means that my rich text box is preserved and I can publish it or edit it or do whatever I need to do in my Canvas course. I'm also going to show you this competency, this reading comprehension competency that we had in the past, this quiz. You'll see that it does import questions from your question bank correctly. Some of the questions might require you to select the right answer again, but other than that, you're going to have most of what you need.